に使命をかけて燃える街にあとわずか届く叫びを耳にして帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞウルトラマン十字を組んで狙った敵は必殺技の贈り物大地を飛んで流星パンチ近くに立ってウルトラチョップ凶悪怪獣倒すため帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞウルトラマン
Hello, you are listening to Ultra Q, episode 55. My name is Red. I'm joined by Mel.
You know what? I'm feeling a bit lazy. I'll just hang up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait, come back. Can you explain? Now, bearing in mind, it's been a while since I watched these episodes and written the summaries. Do you want to explain the joke, or shall we wait until I get the joke?
It's in the episode.
Okay. We'll get to it when I read the summaries. Like I had a whole holiday this week basically. Like I took 3 days and I managed to get 10 days off. Gaming the system, and because of that I got everything done really early on like Monday, and haven't thought about Ultraman since, and so I have completely forgotten all of these episodes. So coming up, I don't fucking know. We'll find out. That'll be fun together. I do remember one thing. Coming up, we have Go's sick boomerang moves.
That was the...
Coolest shit in the world. Alright, well, no Brad this week, as you can tell. We weren't just making him wait.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
Yeah, happy Easter, Xbox. I would, in like about 4 hours or something, I'm gonna be moving rooms. Everyone's busy today, but we had time, so here we are.
No, I have my parents though. Rip.
Rip. I mean, it's my parents were like, "Are you coming over for Easter?" And I was like, "Is Easter a special occasion for us? Is that real?" I didn't know we were that religious, but also I was like, I'm moving like rooms, so I am going to be busy. I should get an Easter egg or something. I don't know. Anyway,
we can get a Kinder Egg, both of us, because Brad can't in his country.
Ha. Excellent. Well, so, little preliminary before we get to Ultraman. I have one thing that I finished. I've been doing other stuff, but like I finished one of my big 50 episode shows. I finished Fresh Precure.
Oh shit, you finished.
Yeah. That was a good anime. I liked that.
Yeah.
So Fresh Precure is not the fifth season.
Sixth.
It's the sixth season, which it's confusing because it's like the fourth set of characters.
Yeah, they decided to do a sequel season twice, and they learned...
Don't do that.
They touched the stove twice and got burned both times, and like, okay, we're not doing that ever again.
Yeah, never doing that again. And from what I understand from what you told me back when I first started Fresh was Fresh is was kind of a Hail Mary for the series. Like it was
I think
kind
so,
of like
yeah.
this has to hit or else it's done.
Yeah. I don't know the specifics, but I do think like it was important that it succeeded.
Yeah, and did it succeed? Well, Precure is now one of a handful of Toei shows that they will just keep making until Toei is done, until there's no more Toei. So yes, it succeeded. It got, it is. I think in from what I can tell of the Western Precure fan base, it is overshadowed by the fact that it is immediately followed by Heartcatch Precure, which is one of those ones that everyone is just like, well, this is just kind of the best one. This is kind of one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, I haven't watched Heartcatch. I'm watching in order mostly. I freed myself of watching ones I don't like. I'm skipping ones I don't like. But I haven't seen Heartcatch, so I can judge Fresh Precure on its own merits, which is, it's good. It's good. It is the funniest Precure I've seen so far. I would describe it as a magical girl comedy show, like more so than the others I've seen.
Maybe this was the Magical Girl Dawn Brothers the whole time.
Maybe the girls are strange. They are they each have their the two. Okay, so there's Love, who is the main character. She's pink, but she's got this cool design with the two like super long blonde twin tails. She is accompanied by Blue and Yellow, who are Mickey and Buki, and they have their one thing each. And like Mickey is like fashionista, and Buki wants to, likes animals, wants to be a vet or whatever. And the show keeps like making them weirder and stranger as the show goes on. To the point that there's an episode where Mickey is hiding the mascot character, and the implication of the episode is that like Mickey's mum is overhearing her taking care of a baby and thinks she's had a baby in secret.
I forgot about this. Now, to be fair, there's there's the mascot baby. So
yes, it is. Yeah, the mascot is a baby. Like, is this the first baby mascot?
I mean, I don't think there is one in the other ones, right? So
yeah, I think this is the one that starts the trend of like, there's a baby, we take care of it, it grows up throughout the show, kind of.
Yeah, there's a
lot of starting trends in this one, because it's the
Yeah, there's definitely a marked difference between like the first 5 and then Fresh onwards.
Mm-hmm. Buki's strangeness I can't really get into in decent company, because she just it's like a couple of episodes. There's an episode that ends on a note which sort of implies that the mascot ferret is now her boyfriend, and I was like, what is happening here?
The mascot ferret is good. What's his name again? Remind me.
Tart. Tart is great. Tart. I love Tart.
He and the donut guy are bros. Absolutely.
Tart is my favorite mascot so far. He's chill. He's cool. He's and he's always always hanging out with his bro, who is a secret spy.
Yeah, it's really good. He's just like he sells donuts, and then
sells donuts and solves kidnapping.
He's like the guy who like clearly obviously knows that they're Precure but doesn't say shit.
Yes.
Which I mean makes sense when he's like best bros with a talking ferret.
Yeah, he just takes it in stride. He's like, talking ferret. There's a whole episode dedicated. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Buki later episode where she's like left alone for 5 minutes, and I would generally call her like the one that's got the least going on. But the moment she's left alone for 5 minutes, she starts flirting with a white tiger, and I'm like, girl, you got problems. You got very big problems. You need to talk to somebody. But the tone of the show is just so much goofier. Like there's a whole episode dedicated to two of the parents team up to make wigs for pets, and it's treated so seriously as like
I remember that being one of the wildest episodes there is.
Yeah, it's a great episode, and but it's just like this like shoujo sparkles as these two men talk about their dream of making the wig that will make true happiness for animals. It's like losing my mind. There's like it's just, this is also reflected in one of the, like, I would say the most recurring villain of the show, who is Westar, who is just fun. He's the best. He's so good. He's like big, buff, like himbo villain, who is constantly rocking up. He is constantly getting degraded by the other bad guys in the show, calling him an idiot, while he's so cute because he's like, oh, we should team up to beat Precure, and they're like, we're not teaming up with you, and he's like oh, my comrades, and them turning this around as like his kind of because you know, Precure show, the bad guys you like will wind up, you know, being friends with the good guys, and Westar, his in being like Setsuna recognizing you always wanted to be friends with everyone. You always wanted that. And I was like, that's true. That is true. It's more true than the Solar stuff. I love Westar. And then, of course, this is the Precure where they kept trying to fool me throughout, like, in the first half of the show, that Miyuki was going to be the fourth Cure, their dance instructor.
Now listen, to be fair, the show is for 5-year-olds. But also...
It's very funny, this, like... yes, we're going to do this cool thing. It's the first time we've ever done it. It's 2009. And I come along from 2024 like, well, no, obviously the evil girl is going to be the fourth Precure. Come on.
It's the first time doing it.
Yeah. Setsuna Setsuna, like Ise is a bad guy. And she's got, like, they have this cool fight, like just a duel between her and Love in the middle of the show in the rain. Fucking sick. This is another thing about the show is so Splash Star, the designs are overly complicated, difficult to animate. This one, they're going all in on the fight animation all the time. It's really good. Which is exactly what I want, because that was kind of the thing that surprised me about Futariwa, is like episode 1. I was like, oh, these girls throw hands. Yeah,
that's like the kind of the gimmick of the franchise.
Yeah.
Which is ironic that sometimes they just don't do it. Like this season where they're just hugging instead. It's fine.
They're just hugging? Okay, yeah. Listen, you win some, you lose some. Sometimes you get a literal dog girl.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be back next season.
Yeah.
Like, there was, like, last time they did, like, oh, we're not doing physical fights this year. They just did it again next season, so it's not a...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, the franchises were in thing. So.
Oh, I'm detecting discourse.
I just remember there was a lot of... There was discourse when it happened the first time, and some people were a bit up in arms this time. But I was like, well, I learned from the first time, and it's fine. It'll be okay. If the show's good, it's fine.
Well, that's good. But yes, the main cast is good. We had a brief chat about it, and it does have a more substantial cast of characters than I initially sort of like thought it did. And it kind of showed this by having them all turn up in like 5 episodes from the end to do like a big scene that I was really surprised by. That was I'm just gonna say the
Yeah, that was like a thing that doesn't happen often, and it felt really good and rewarding in the season when it happened.
It was fantastic when they were like, they did it, and then they were like, and now we're off, and then
and everyone else has to deal with it.
and the mum was just like, no, you're fucking not. What are you talking about? Like, it's reminded me of the Digimon Tamers episode where the kids leave the teacher a message that they're going off to the digital world, and it reads like they're all just gonna go die. That episode was fantastic, and like it was, I think maybe the 5-episode finale was a little much. There was some craft and there's some stuff in there that I think like could be reduced, but also you kind of need the long-term commitment to it to make the return substantial and also the departure substantial.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It's not like, certain finales where it's like, well, the villains showed up in the hometown 20 minutes before the end of the show.
Yes, this is true. I'm glad they committed. They kept it Voltes 5. They kept that was my main overriding thought when they're on their way. I was like, Voltes 5. Some of the there's like a weird boss rush towards the end where I was like, we're repeating some stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. It's easy, to make a 50-episode show good. All you do is make 50 good episodes in a row.
Yeah.
How hard can it be? Very hard. Very difficult. Fresh Precure...
Somehow Zenkaiger did it.
Hell yeah. Fresh Precure, I would say, mostly does this. I would say there's like a couple of mid episodes in there, but like mostly I think this is just good shit all the way through. The problems that I have with it is I think we've talked to death about this. The aesthetic is weak compared to other Precure that I've seen, and other Precure that I know is coming. Next up, Heartcatch. Like, I've seen the opening for Heartcatch. I'm like, well, this is night and day. This is a joke. But I would describe Fresh Precure as looking the way my parents think anime looks.
How to draw anime books.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. But the opening is the opening is terrible. I Stockholm syndrome my way into liking it a little bit, but it's truly dire.
That bad. They don't get that bad. Some of them aren't particularly memorable, but Fresh is like uniquely awful.
Yes. Yes.
To listen
she
to.
can't sing. I don't know what happened. I'm kind of becoming aware of the fact that I'm kind of not into the super elaborate team attacks necessarily. Like, I watched them once, and then after a couple of times of seeing them, I'm like checking my phone when they happen.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do too.
But there's them like passing the heart between the four of them, and like adding a new one on, and it's all like a ritual. It's not like building to like a big attack or anything. It's building to like this sealing and ritual thing, and this is not as cool as when Nagisa and Honoka hold hands and shoot a rainbow beam so hard that it pushes them back, like they're in like Dragon Ball or something. That's good. It is what it is. That is fine. The show transitioned a little bit away from the beam attack. They did adapt some of the finishes to be more like we can just animate this like a Dragon Ball fight, and I appreciated that. They were having fun in the finale.
Got some of that stuff on there, so
exactly. I mean, like OG Precure, the gimmick of magical girls directed by the guy who directed all of TV Dragon Ball, basically. So it's good. The I did I didn't actually mention the fact that the Setsuna's cool. I like Setsuna. I like the fact that
I was just like, that's a big part of the show we stuck because she's one of the best parts of the show.
There's normally what I didn't expect, because I was like, okay, she's kind of converted now to Precure, and that's kind of it now. And I'm like, what's left to do with Setsuna now? And it turns out I was not expecting the show to go with like, well, she still feels bad about all the shit she did. And I was like, oh, okay. I was, I didn't know Precure. I didn't know Precure had it in it. To be like,
you're like, sorry, I didn't know your game.
Yeah, I have to. I owe you an apology.
To be fair, I do think there's like some more recent seasons where they don't do the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Setsuna's still like the best they've done at this on the first go of it.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, once you've done it once, you have to either differentiate from it or kind of it becomes the motions, and this is the problem that I have with a lot of recent like shonen battle manga stuff, where like Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that, where it's there was a wave of where the fashion was to get through the early bits of these types of stories quickly so that you can get to the stuff that is perceived as the good bit.
You can just make the start good bit.
Well, yeah, but also there's the problem that the good bit is often good because you worked to get there. And just skipping to it does not carry the same weight. And so there is an extent to which the bit that is the motions that you kind of want to skip because everyone's seen it before is like actually the bit that you need in order to pay off anything. Like Naruto winning a fight after like 500 episodes of being kind of a guy, like kind of not that strong a protagonist, and like finally saving the village and everyone being like, damn, you saved the village. Like, it required 500 episodes to get to that fucking catharsis of holy shit, the boy did it. I think similar to how when I was watching Kamen Rider Black and I was like, I feel like you're skipping loads of steps because of course they were.
And it's a weird thing because like the skipping steps, even though the perceived audience who's going to be watching is not going to be the ones who saw the old stuff.
Yes. This is.
It's like they're skipping the steps for the legacy audience that isn't actually the target audience of.
Yes, and that's a real shame.
And I feel like it should be stated. I feel like I'm gonna setting up to disappoint in advance future redemption arcs, but it's like worth highlighting the ways that Setsuna's stands out, just because like her redemption comes from actually deprogramming deeply held beliefs that she grew up with and is indoctrinated with.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has to deal with like the fallout of like, oh no, what I've done. And then a lot of the lesser redemption arcs in some future seasons are like, oh, well, she was just brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just like, well, that's not a redemption.
That's not
it's just a different person.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. When
Delicious Party did this the worst it's ever done.
We will never have a Precure discussion without getting in a jab at Delicious Party.
Like it needs to be stated. Delicious Party, like it's like, oh yeah, they're doing the thing again. The obvious villain becomes a Precure thing, but then like she doesn't really become. It doesn't really matter for a bit, and then it's like they both rush it and also don't spend enough time with it because like it takes them like 12 episodes or so, and she just fucks off from the show for a bit, and then has like a 3-episode arc where she gets good again. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave? You could spend that time doing character work.
This was one of the ways that Fresh Precure surprised me, was just the amount of time spent after the, what I would consider like, oh well, that's sufficient. That's like you've done enough. She's now Precure, and then still continuing with like, well, how does she feel about the? First of all, like they rescue. She's not Precure for like a whole episode until like after she's converted from the other side. Also, because now this is in praise of craft, in praise of the reuse of footage. The Fresh Precure transformations are mostly fine. And like for the initial, they don't use the full sequence for the girls in like for so long, like to the point that I had, back when I watched like 8 episodes of this show, I had seen them. I had completely forgotten about the like elaborate little initial bit of their transformations, because they weren't showing them anymore in the run up to 20. And so because they like pull back on like simplifying these transformations, because you can fit in more stuff, you don't want to use the full thing when you want to get time, you want to use that time for your episode. So when the Setsuna transformation hits, and it's cool as shit,
it's
and like
one of the best there is.
It's so good. Like the plummet into the water is, took me off guard. It was fantastic.
It's like a rebirth metaphor or something.
Yes, yes, truly something special. And
yeah, also just like the Isun Cure Peach fight is just top notch.
It's good. It's sick. And then like there's also stuff like attention to the fact that like Buki and Miki each get a separate Setsuna episode to establish like, well, how do I feel about Setsuna? And so it's just like stuff that I feel like
exploring Octopusolia.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, something you're not really allowed to do in magical girl shows, I feel like, but I guess you can, is the arc where the girls encounter an obstacle and they're like, well, we'll just work together and believe in each other, and with the support of our friends and the power of friendship and believing in ourselves and being Precure, we can overcome any obstacle. And then they try really hard, get burnt out, and wind up in a hospital. And I was like, holy shit. You can't do that. But you can. It's good. And like caught me up. Yeah. Fresh Precure, full of surprises. I was a very big fan. I liked it a lot. I am looking forward to Heartcatch.
Yeah.
But I can't watch it yet. Because this is the first of, let me see. First, because I've got Cougar. I promised myself I'm going to finish Cougar. I've been still, picking away at Lucky Star every now and then. I've got
Elgaim. The show you dislike.
Yeah, a show I dislike. I kind of like it. It's alright. It's mid, but it's fine. It got a little bit better. Elgaim. I've been watching Elgaim. That's, I'm like 8 episodes in. That's been on hold for a little bit, but I will be finishing Elgaim. For some reason, I started the original Love Live. I guess I'll watch that. Just the first season. I'm not making myself watch all of the OG cast stuff before I'm allowed to watch Heartcatch. And a secret other show that is like 50 episodes that I started a few weeks ago.
Oh, a secret. I guess I'll find out then.
Yeah, you'll find out eventually.
I got some 50 episode stuff in the back burner. One I was almost
yes.
going to finish for this next week, but I didn't because the schedule plans fell through.
So yes,
Probably
I'm giving myself a break until Heartcatch, so that I come back appreciative. So that's my break. Is I promised myself I'm gonna finish all of that first, and before I'm allowed to start anything else. If I start anything else, you have to say no. You have to tell me no, stop. But yeah, that's me. That's me. I've also been playing Command and Conquer, but that's a conversation for another day. Infantry micromanagement in Command and Conquer is a fucking bitch. But yeah. What you been up to?
So I had thought I was gonna bring stuff, but then hiccups happened because I had a thing I was gonna finish with a friend, and I didn't finish it. I watched exactly one more episode of Bravern, which is it's episode 2 of Bravern.
You finally got to the bit where the robot is talking about Isami in the horniest way imaginable.
Yeah, meanwhile Asami's being waterboarded.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll have to finish that. I'm only halfway through Tales of Earth Sea. I was gonna rewatch Trailblazer yesterday, the 00 movie, but then the 4K Blu-ray that I have was running slow on my computer, and so I was I had to get a 1080p disc or something low resolution so I can actually run it. So the games I'm in the middle of are slowly coming along. So rough time for me in terms of actually finishing things.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Also, the semester's ending. So, I need to probably start doing other stuff that's in media for a bit.
All right.
But I did reach the halfway point of the Three Kingdoms, though.
Hell yeah.
We're on the cusp of actually Three Kingdoms.
Yeah. Getting that.
Yeah.
Which means we've had the Battle of Red Cliffs.
Yes, I did see last week. I did see the first half of Red Cliff.
Hell yeah! The boys,
which is cool. It's cool. I'll probably give more thoughts when I see part 2, which will be tonight.
Yeah! What a movie!
It is funny that Joyu is a guy who's cool. Instead of a sniveling cartoon villain who's just really petty, and he just bros with Kongming instead of trying to kill him.
It's very funny thinking about the relationship between Romance of the Three Kingdoms and history, and going this is all an elaborate ploy to make Joyu look less cool than he was in history, presumably. Because presumably he just did this himself.
Yeah. I am curious to read more of the history and differing accounts, because I do know that for a long time Cao Cao was the guy.
Yeah.
And his dynasty was the guy in terms of legitimacy. And then at some point, Liu Bei became the protagonist in popular imagination, including in the highly influential novel that's culturally important. So.
Yes.
It's not. I think, to my understanding, it's the novel is born out of that context, but also the novel being as big as it is also reinforces that context.
Yes.
So.
Yes. There's mentioned yesterday, there's an extent to which Cao Cao was kind of he was kind of the guy who he kind of whether or not he used the emperor for nefarious gains, he did secure the emperor and keep him safe, and
ostensibly the empire was still the Han Empire. He was just the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And meanwhile Liu Bei is no, I'm the Han.
Yes.
So
and
no,
then
you're not.
and then there's like in reflection, there's kind of this, I guess, sentimentality about the Han as like this long era of stability, and like the fact that, and I guess in that sense, Liu Bei becomes like the natural protagonist.
Yeah, well, it's also, I think it's mentioned. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I've linked you the pause and select video on Kongming.
I have not seen it yet, but I should. I should.
Which for context is about like why does Japan like Kongming so much?
Is it because he's cool?
Well, yes, but there's like more. There's also like culture specific stuff of like the context in which Three Kingdoms got popular in Japan,
Okay.
the values of the Meiji era,
Oh.
stuff like that.
Oh, I can see Kongming being popular.
Yeah.
Like knowing what he gets up to in the latter half of the book sometimes.
Also just like the degree to which the Japanese adaptations are kind of like their own text and how that informs the Japanese understanding of the story.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, I think in the essay, I might as well just link the essay in the description at this point. But in the essay, it's mentioned that like Liu Bei started to get like more traction in the Song Dynasty when the Song Dynasty lost the northern half of China to a nomadic empire. And they
Right.
created a different dynasty. And it's sort of like the idea is like if you lose the cultural heartland of the traditional Chinese culture heartland, and now you're stuck in the south, which is not the traditional heartland. Well, I guess we'll tie legitimacy to blood and ethnicity, and guess what?
Yes.
Which of the Three Kingdoms is based the legitimacy on blood and not anything else?
I see. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have to read more of that stuff because,
Wow. Sick.
Spoilers: none of these kingdoms lasted.
Spoilers. None of these kingdoms exist anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, do we get straight into Ultraman then?
Yeah.
All right. Episode 46. These are going to be a surprise to me as well because again, it was Monday when I wrote these. Episode 46. This one blow filled with anger, featuring Boomerang.
I
Monster.
got fill this blow with anger.
Fill this blow with anger, featuring Boomerang Monster Red Killer. Oh,
They're coming after you.
they're coming after me. An old man is doing a picture show for a bunch of kids about a story where Matt fights and defeats a kaiju called Red Killer. Someone asks why Ultraman isn't in the story, and the old man says, you can't trust an alien to protect you all the time. Isn't it better if Matt are the heroes? I'm being called
It's worth
out.
noting that Jiro's in this audience.
Jiro is in this audience.
He's
One
like,
kid-
what? He's like,
Yeah.
damn, how could you say that about Ultraman?
Yeah. One kid doesn't go home afterwards, and the old man says he'll take him to see Matt if he wants. The boy accepts, and they go to a bridge overlooking a Matt patrol route. When Go comes by in the patrol car, the old man turns into an alien and throws the boy off the bridge into the way of the car. Go stops in time, but the old man appears to claim that Go did, in fact, hit this kid. Going broad here, for the sake of summary, Go is quickly suspended from duty while Matt goes about investigating itself for wrongdoing. Classic cop stuff. The old man contacts his boss.
Worth noting that Go is also like, please let me also investigate myself for wrong.
Yes! Yes!
And Ibuki's like,
No.
listen, I believe you, but also for optics.
Oh, it's great.
I lost my mind when Ibuki's like, there's only one truth right, and I point at the screen and go, oh, Detective Conan.
Yeah, Leo point. The old man contacts his boss and is given the go-ahead to attack with Red Killer, but let Matt win, just like in the picture show. The plan seems to work, with Matt even deploying their new super cannon, which has the power of an atomic bomb, but no radiation. Apparently,
So
this
actually
is
good,
a good
right?
thing.
It's also shaped like just a normal gun.
Yes.
Fuck the spider shot.
Yeah, fuck the spider shot. Just as predicted. Just as predicted. But then the second stage of the plan kicks in. Red Killer attacks again, and this time the super cannon doesn't work on it. I have some questions about this plan, but we'll get to it after the summary. Meanwhile, Go is in the hospital at the bedside of Toru, the kid from the incident who still hasn't woken up. Jiro
and whose parents just are left him.
Yeah, just don't know where he is. Whatever, he'll be back. Jiro begs Go to help Matt, but Go insists only one person can give him the go-ahead to return to Matt, and that's Toru. Anyway.
I should also note there's a fun bit where he goes like, hey, Jiro, can you go to the roof and tell me if I'm wearing from the monster? And then Jiro goes to the roof and it's like, damn, that's just like the story. That's weird.
Yeah. The hospital starts to collapse, and Go and Ibuki bring Toru out of the building, and Toru wakes up and is like, oh, hey, it's you. Did you get the alien disguised as an old man? And Ibuki's like, time to return to duty, Go. Go joins the rest of Matt and spots the old man.
Funniest moment in the entire episode.
Yes, Go joins the rest of Matt, spots the old man and says, he's an alien. And Kishida says, bet, and shoots him.
and I need to stress what happens here is like Go runs up and sees the guy's like, pulls out a gun. And Kishida's like, Go, are you crazy? And then Go's like, he's an alien. We just found out. And Kishida's like, oh, okay. And shoots.
It's so good. Kishida, thank you.
These guys are cops.
Yeah, absolutely. The alien Zool is defeated, but Red Killer is still active. Go dodges Red Killer's boomerangs by doing sick backflips, and then rides one of the boomerangs back to Red Killer before transforming into Ultraman. 10 out of 10. Thank you. Oh, it's staggering. Ultraman gets his ass kicked by boomerangs until he cheats and uses a big whip to catch the boomerangs. He then uses them to slice up the defenseless Red Killer. Thank you, Ultraman, you saved me. Jiro and Toru are playing around in Ultraman masks, and Go arrives in the patrol car. When asked if he'd watch another Matt picture show, Toru says yes, but he wants to see one where Ultraman saves the day. The end. I'm getting directly called out for wanting to watch Mighty Jack.
It's what the kids want.
The kids want a superhero, I guess. Return of Ultraman's like, don't you prefer it when... I
don't know the lyrics of that song.
I don't know the song. Return of Ultraman is like, don't you prefer it when Ultraman's around? Don't you prefer that to when it's just a team of guys? And I'm like, no. I'm the old man. I think sometimes it's cool when it's just a team of guys.
To be fair, they would have another team of guys in like next year.
Yeah.
With Emergency Directive 10.4.10.10, I think.
Yes. Which is a cool name for a show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a question about this plan. Why do they have to do the first part of the attack where it doesn't work when they can do the second part that does work?
No,
It doesn't make any sense. It's like they wanted to get off this thing where it's like, oh, it's gonna do the fight just as it was predicted in the picture show, and then there'll be a twist, but that twist is just, well, Red Killer will attack again, and this time it won't die to the shot from the gun. And I'm like, well, I mean, could it have not died the first time? If so, there was really no need for this.
It is funny that they're like, oh yeah, Ultraman won't attack because he's suspended from duty. Which is which is also true, which is even the funnier part.
Aliens just know that Go is Ultraman all the time.
Just like with Dan and Ultra 7.
Yes, everyone knows he's Ultra 7. Go has a rougher time of it, I think. Like, Dan can handle it. Go is not built for this. Dan is like from space, and then Go is not. Yeah. So there's the highlight of this episode is absolutely the Kishida moment and the boomerangs. the shots of him doing flips on a trampoline in front of a green screen is fantastic.
Yeah. Also, just a straight thought. I don't relate to the episode itself, but more broad. I kind of realize in recent weeks why Eiichi Kikuchi felt so like, no, I'm not coming back for Ultraman Ace. There's too much work. It's because the guy keeps doing sick flips in the Ultraman suit every single fight. I'm like, do you need to do that?
He's putting in too much work.
It's like, you do this to yourself.
Yeah. I saw a clip of Blue Blazers of Anno doing an impression of Ultraman, and his friends having to guess what he's doing an impression of, and they guess Ultraman from Return of Ultraman, and he says, no, Ultra 7 for the 2 episodes when he's played by the guy who's in the suit in Return of Ultraman.
That's the
fucking nerd. Fantastic.
Anno will be put in the locker. Unfortunately, no, he would go on to make an actual Ultraman movie.
Fortunately, to be honest, it's pretty
well,
good.
It's a good movie, but also I don't like Anno being validated like this for those particular proclivities.
Yeah. See,
Look forward to his fan film tomorrow next week.
The great thing about being a Tomino fan is that he's been a lifelong employee, so he's the people's hero. He doesn't own a studio.
Yeah. I will give Anno this. He did call out Gainax on their bullshit of being just like illegal and awful to the people.
He did do that.
Just
now, this episode is pretty fun. It's like very, as you were saying, really demonstrative of the fact that Matt are just the police. They are just cops. There's an incident, and they immediately circle around, go like, "Oh, we're gonna investigate." Go, and Ibuki like, "Well, obviously you didn't do it, but like, we'll take some time off." And we'll find the truth, and the truth will be that you didn't do it. It's fine.
Yeah. Matt is evil because of the cops. But don't worry, they will be defunded soon.
Yes.
To replace with the Manhunters or Londo Bell or something. I don't know.
If we load up Ultraman Ace and Bright Noah is there.
You're just saying,
good,
damn, why does I was
You're thinking of an appropriate alien.
I was actually thinking about why it was like, why does ex-African countries support the aliens invading Japan?
Oh, I see. I
couldn't make it work though.
No. Man, Bright Noah.
In my heart of hearts, I do believe Bright Noah and Amuro would be vote blue no matter who.
That is them. Yeah, absolutely. Amuro like, oh, we can, we'll change the future bit by bit. We'll leave it to the next generation.
Amuro was absolutely like, listen, I don't think Biden is good, but Trump would be worse.
Yeah, it's that's their vibe. That is absolutely their vibe. Meanwhile, they go to their job as Border Patrol. Alright, well, do we have anything more to say about this episode other than production stuff?
Yeah, well, first of all, Brad didn't give us the writer's direction.
He did not. He did a call out. This is a call out. I'm putting a call out post on my twitter.com.
I think he might be asleep right now, so I'm still.
Yeah, he'll He'll be asleep right now. As he's chilling. He's vibing.
I don't think. I'm assuming we aren't getting any new guys at this late in the show, but like I'll go on the wiki and find them.
Yeah, just pull
and
names.
And if they need to bios, Brad can fill them in next week or something, or maybe the week after. We'll see. Anyway, according to the wiki, this episode was directed by.
Now we're gonna agree right now. We're not gonna bring this up, and Brad's just gonna have to hear this on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also Brad's responsibility to correct me if I'm wrong.
Nice.
So this episode was directed by Noboru Kaji, written by Shigemitsu Taguchi, special effects director Kazuo Sagawa. I wonder who is in the suit and who designed the suit. Whoa, it's the same guys we've been having for like 10 episodes in a row. Takanobu Toya and Akihiko Gucci again. Whoa.
Nice.
Alien Zool is apparently designed based off the French artist Ed Cartier, who I'm pretty sure we brought up at some point when we talked about Ultra 7. I just forget when.
I believe we did.
I couldn't find it in my notes.
It was like someone had mentioned Ed Cartier as like one of their inspirations. And Ed Cartier drawing a lot of like pulp art for like Pulp Fiction. Not Pulp Fiction the movie, Pulp Fiction the thing that Pulp Fiction is referring to. Yeah,
I think there was at least one alien that was inspired, but I don't remember which one. And I tried to look at my notes, but I couldn't find it. So
if you Google Ed Cartier, you see some wild shit because different time.
And also, Red Killer apparently had normal hands before.
And would throw boomerangs instead.
Yeah.
Oh, instead of the hands being boomerangs.
Yeah, and I think I saw on the wiki that also there was like the idea that like one boomerang could be potentially be asymmetrical, like a crack claw kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'd also point out that what the storyteller is doing is something called Kamishibai, which is a popular storytelling method between the 1920s and the advent of television in Japan.
That's cool.
So this is just a common thing at the time, but it was also, I think, on its way out by the time this episode would have aired. Where you just have a guy on a street corner, showing pictures, playing some music,
telling a story.
Not necessarily music from the show, like in this.
Yes.
Where this guy just starts playing the Return of Ultraman theme and the Matt theme. It's good. But yeah, apparently, according to Wikipedia, it said it had its origins in Buddhist monasteries and type of storytelling there. So cool, I guess. I didn't want to go deep dive just because that's not what the show's about. But cultural knowledge is fun.
Yeah. I gotta say, the boomerangs being its hands adds an element of signature Ultraman cruelty when he takes them. I think it's necessary to really capture the Ultraman vibe that when he takes the boomerangs and kills Red Killer with it, he has essentially taken away Red Killer's hands and is using Red Killer's hands to,
To nothing personal.
No, yeah, absolutely. This is all part of what it means to be Ultraman. Is you have to kill with excessive cruelty.
That reminds me. A few days ago, I was watching a Sentai Susan with a friend, and they had episode 8 of the show had a tribute to Ultraman, where the monster of the week was a fake Ultraman.
Oh, that's cool.
And at some point in the episode, the Ultraman says, "Justice is what the strong make of it," and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This show understands
They
Ultraman
know.
more than Ultraman.
They know. That's really good.
It's a good episode.
Oh, man.
I actually put the screenshot on the AltQ Twitter, so people can see it.
One day, one day someone's going to call us to account for our opinions, and we're just going to have to be there and be like, look, we're right. I don't know what you're talking about. We watched the shows.
Thankfully, I don't think any Ultraman entry gets as politically pointed as Char's counter-sack, so we won't get cancelled for that.
Yeah, fantastic. Twitter's behaving weirdly. I just attempted to search for us and clicked in the search bar, and Twitter had me click out of the search bar for some
You could just go to your bio.
Yeah, but
That's
this is true. This is true. I could do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. And then I accidentally you just start typing and then it just mutes someone. I'm like, I was clicked in the search bar. You lied to me. That's okay. Twitter is Twitter. Justice is
sometimes
strong.
Sometimes when I'm like, I want to see like a tweet you made or something, I'll just go to click my bio.
Oh,
to
nice.
3D. You just click my bio. The Ultraman bio, and you're
the degrees of separation.
Yeah.
I'm liking the screenshot. I appreciate the blowjob angle. Fantastic.
Of course.
Yeah.
You need to keep it alive.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, unless we have anything more to say about this episode, it was mostly just fun. It was just it was one of the episodes where the highlight was like the action, which sometimes it really isn't. But this one, absolutely, it's Go doing flips, it's Go riding a boomerang while it spins through the air, which is the funniest image in the world. And then it's Ultraman doing sick shit. But yeah, if that's all we're done, we have got episode 47, The Targeted Woman.
I have The Marked Woman.
The Marked Woman, that makes more sense. Featuring human soul monster Femigon.
I saw that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Femigon. The boys are out on patrol, and back at base, Ibuki and Oka have a conversation about a woman's place in Matt. Ibuki is concerned they rely on her to do the boring jobs too much, but Oka doesn't want to receive special treatment. Oka makes a mistake. She turns off the comms for some reason, so when Go and Minami have trouble with their jet on patrol, they have to eject over the sea, and the base has no precise location for where they landed. Oka apologizes for the incident, and Ibuki assures her that they trust this was just a one-time error. Anyway, time to search. Hey, Ueno, how about you stay here with Oka? Just to, just keep an eye on things. Ibuki and Kishida's search turns up nothing, but on the way back they have a near miss with a passenger jet because a radar switch was turned off at HQ. Back at base, Ueno very awkwardly demonstrates that from where he was sitting, he couldn't flip that switch. Everyone understands what he's trying to say. Ibuki tells
Oka... He's like, I don't want to point fingers, but...
Yes.
But...
Yeah. I don't... Listen. Right, here's the thing. I feel for Ueno in this situation. Also, you just have to talk about it. You just have to talk about it. But the thing where he's like, this is some real shit. This is some real, like, this is an office type shit. Where he's just like, I'm just saying, I don't, and he like goes through, just shows physically that he probably couldn't hit that switch from where he was sitting, and it's just like, bruh, I want to die. Like, if I was in that room, I would want to be out of that room immediately.
Yeah, that reminds me of something like my friend Triblast said in a conversation I had with him. He was like, "Yeah, Ultraman is a series about people who go to work together," and I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yes, yeah. Ibuki tells Oka to take a month vacation and tries to reassure her it's not a punishment, just a vacation. Tries, operative word. As the night goes on, Ibuki calls Oka's home and is told she hasn't arrived yet. They later get a call that a kaiju has attacked a refinery in Chiba. All 3 of the remaining members refuse to stay at HQ. They launch, and Ibuki insists that if 2 of them go down in the fight, the last has to retreat and live to fight another day. They scare off the kaiju for now. Later, Oka returns home looking fucking out of it. and goes straight to bed. Her mum remarks that she smells of oil. The next morning, Oka's mum brings breakfast up to her daughter, but finds her missing. Again, the smell of oil in the room. Matt must launch again as the kaiju has returned to Chiba. Ibuki comes up with an idea. 3 cards, 2 aces, 1 joker. Whoever draws the joker must stay behind. Kishida tears up the aces and says, I'm sure you have a way of making sure one of us youngsters draws the joker. He and Ueno then try to convince the captain he should stay behind, as it's his leadership skills that can put together a new team. Ibuki tears up the joker and is like, alright, we all go, and the team launches. Go and Minami wash up at Chiba in the morning and they spot the kaiju. Back at it again. Go runs after the kaiju and Minami runs after Go. Go transforms.
Yeah, real like Hayata moment, except Minami is also there.
Yeah, Minami is like, he just has to run faster than Minami to get out of sight. Go transforms into Ultraman to save Ueno from crashing, and then he fights Femigon. Ultraman gets stabbed a bunch, and then Femigon heads underwater towards the Matt base. How does it know? Ultraman destroys Femigon, and Oka is found by Matt, collapsed on the shore. She doesn't know where she is, but Ibuki's like, yeah, you were possessed by the alien. So those mistakes weren't your fault after all. Go washes up again, and the team gathers around a fire and cooks some fish. The end. There's a lot going on in this episode.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
It's a weird one. So, first of all, at the beginning, there's this conversation between Ibuki and Oka that I think is pretty. I think is where we have to look for like the episode, because like it's like Ibuki is talking to Oka about how this is all a job, but flying a patrol is like recreation in some way.
Yeah, like it's fun.
It's flash to fly the Matt Arrow. It's cool. It like doing the patrol is as important as sitting at that console, and sitting at that console is as important as going on patrol. But one is not fun, and one is really cool and fun. And you're always doing the not fun bit, and I feel like we rely on you too much to do the boring shit. And her response of like, I don't want to receive special treatment, just because I'm a woman. And it's like this kind of thing where it's like, you're already getting special treatment because you're a woman. It's not special. It's bad.
Yeah.
And Ibuki and Oka talking about this like mature adults about like, we, like, you don't take any time off. You do the boring shit every day. We gotta, we should find something that like we should find something where in your role you feel like you're doing more. And I just, I think that's quite good for the rest of the episode, because the rest of the episode is about like the Ibuki and Ko refusing to stay at the base.
Yeah, and then like, can we just call Oka back?
Yeah. Yeah. Despite Ibuki saying like, oh, it's a boring job, it needs to be done, but we should, we make you do it too much, and then faced with the prospect of doing it, he's like, well, no, I'm gonna go fly the Matt Arrow. I'm gonna go fight the kaiju.
It's worth noting that there's also episodes where all of them go out anyway, so
Yeah, there is. So yeah, I think that's like an important angle on the episode. Is I do think at first I was kind of like, this episode is going to be bad, but I mostly think it's fine.
yeah.
I think it, like, there is a comparison to be made to, there's an episode of Ultraman which is really good where Fuji does stuff.
And it's not on our skip list because it's a lie.
Because it's deceitful to put it on the 13 episode skip list. You have to only see Fuji being the word, like, sucking, because it's like, but yes, there's an episode where and it's genuinely kind of a revelation in the
Isn't that like also an underwater base episode?
Also an underwater base episode, but kind of a revelation because something happens to the team, and the first instinct of the captain is to ask Fuji, "Did you do that? Is that your fault?" And that kind of sets her off spiraling. And it's this kind of, I had to go back and check the footage and double check that she had done nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong, but they blamed her for it. And this kind of weird moment in the original Ultraman where it turns to camera and says, actually, the reason Fuji kind of sucks most of the time is because the men in her life keep putting her down and don't support her and give her the opportunities that she needs to be a cool member of the team. And then it goes straight back to making her suck all the time. And I think it's a weird comparison with this one, because this one is about kind of her, like, it's like Oka's like vengefulness, Oka's like feeling of bitterness towards the team.
Yeah, she's like really out of it. We see her like going through tricky shots going through the city before she gets home, presumably.
Yeah, that sequence was pretty cool. I
think it's funny that both Kushida and Oka both live with their mom.
Wait, both live
with their mom.
Oh, yes. Kishida lives with his mum as well. I'd forgotten about that. Yes.
Who's one of the funniest parts of that episode?
Yeah.
It's not as funny in this episode, but you
know. No. But yeah, obviously, the thing that this episode kind of like ends on, Ibuki saying like, "Yeah, you were possessed by the alien," is the kaiju is a product of Oka's feelings of resentment for being
I don't even
sidelined.
know if there's actually an alien, because it's like I feel like when looking up this kaiju, this line is the only indication of alienness.
I definitely feel like this line is dodging the issue and not wanting to talk about it. Or at least, if that's not what it is, then that sucks. Like if it is just there's an alien, that's boring. I don't care about that. I'm simply going to accept the version of the show where Ibuki says, "You were possessed by an alien, so those mistakes weren't even your fault. Come back." As a way of just like sweeping everything under a rug. There was no conflict. There was no weird thing where we kind of just like cast you aside and like put all this doubt on you for this one mistake that then caused more mistakes, etc., etc. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a shame that like this is the one episode about Oka, and almost every other episode she's not in the show.
Yeah, it's not an episode about her being a cool member of the team. It's specifically the opposite. It's an episode about how the team has kind of put her in a bad position and excludes her.
It's like when Aki's like, "Oh hey, go! You haven't seen me well." Well, she hasn't been in the show for 10 episodes and then dies. Yes.
It's like we'll do an episode. We'll bring a character back and we'll have cool things to say about the character. We'll have cool things to say about the character, specifically about the way we've treated her. We, the writers. We did it, but we'll put in the commentary nonetheless. Yeah, I think like
Brad just woke up.
Oh, did Brad just wake up?
Yeah, gave us some trivia.
Good morning. All right.
Just one more point on the episode itself.
Go for it.
Before we get to production stuff, when looking up stuff with kaiju, I got a quote I met something from our literary critic called Ryota Fukushima, was cited in the article for this kaiju.
That's cool.
The critic described the episode as exposing misogyny in its development of the one-sided defeat of Femigon while emphasizing the homosexual bonds between the male members by turning Yuriko, the only female member of the squad, into a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, person. Very good. Yeah, it's the these like heartwarming moments between the team, between like Kishida, Ueno, and Ibuki, where they're like all refusing, all like trying to be the guy that is risking his life for the others, and at the same time avoiding the woman's role of staying at the base and sitting at the console and doing a fucking job.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Oga said like it's the woman's job to stay at home, right?
Yes, she does literally say that, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then the episode has thoughts, and I think it mostly has thoughts.
Her
that are
internalized
quite
misogyny is combated by the by the
very image of perfect alien masculinity.
I was just gonna say vengeful kaiju insider, but
Oh yes, yeah. It manifests as a vengeful kaiju.
Ide would want this, even though he's also
Yes.
misogynist.
Oh my god, no! This is Ide learning. This is Ide learning, and he's developing kaiju theories about gender.
He has he's like an Ide's base smoky room as he like summons Jiro and Oka.
He got
and he has to calm Oka down whenever Jiro says I'm a misogynist.
Yes. He got criticized one time for misogyny, and he went into it he had like a spiral for a couple of months and then came out of it with like, okay, I'm gonna do some fun stuff with woman kaiju now. We're gonna have some fun.
He didn't learn this the first time after he did woman like jewelry.
Yeah, women like jewelry, and that one time when he said something and then Fuji turned to him and agreed with him, and then he just said, Fuji, shut up. Just out of nowhere. Dude. Yeah. Ide, hero in many ways, villain in others, but that's why we like
That's also true of Ultraman.
That's true. That's true of Ultraman. In the opposite ways. Ide is the rival that we need. I'm so stuck on like Jun hopping across these organizations, changing his name, like he's Quattro Paginaing his way through Ultraman.
The man who lost his name or something.
The man who erased his name over and over and over again, until we get to the Ide Jun fist fight as like extremely old men. Which if I could draw, I would have drawn by now.
I think Ide. I need to check which other shows Ide's actor is in, because I feel like he might be in like Mighty Jack or something.
Oh yes, you did mention he's in Mighty Jack. He might even be the main guy in Mighty Jack.
He might be.
I seem to remember.
I do know that because I know that like one of the main guys in Operation Mystery is Ken's actor. What else do he have? He plays Akira Genda in Mighty Jack. Okay.
Akira sounds like a protagonist name to me.
Could be.
All right.
Yeah, let's get the production stuff.
Stuff. Hit me.
First of all, because Brad now has given us the notes. I'll just roll back for episode 46, last episode. Just a reminder, Noboru Kaiju's episodes were Kishida Dad War Crime, Dead Painter, Ultra 7 Crossover, Invisible Giant Monster from Space, SS, and then Go episodes. Okay. Brad's words.
Invisible giant monster from space. Which one's the invisible giant monster from space?
The one with the elephant trunk.
The one with the what?
The elephant trunk. That was like one of the first space kaiju ones.
Oh, okay.
That was like episode 18 or something.
Okay. No, I do remember this one now. Yes, this was the one that I opened the summary by yelling "Jiro gets murked." Yes.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah, that had a good Ken Moven when he was alive. Remember that?
Yes. All right.
Then, written by Shigemitsu Taguchi. More I mentioned that, but he wrote the Eldorus, Jiro Rides a Monster, Abominable Snowman, Kishida Alien Girlfriend episodes. So now for this episode.
I didn't mention this last time, but Kishida immediately getting a girlfriend who is made of dynamite was really funny.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. All right, yeah, episode 47.
Yeah, episode 47. This one's been directed by Takahara Saiki, who did Bolton Jr. and the Mirage Monster episodes. I forget which Mirage Monster was.
I am not sure. It could be a couple of things, maybe. I don't know.
That's fine. Whatever. Written by Toshiro Ishida, who did Magnetism Monster at the Dam, Constellation Eater, Bone God Oxter, Grass Type Blastoise, aka Biolante, Vampire Lady, Phantom Snow One Monster, Mirage Monster again, and Captain Ibuki's Vacation episode.
Captain Ibuki just doesn't care about his family.
No, he pretends to.
He's the warmth with which he treats his team compared to his wife and daughter is truly hilarious. It's fantastic. He's just
it's found family when you just abandon your group.
Yes. The fucking when they're like, you should take a day off, sir, and he's like that little smile, and he's like, thanks guys, that means so much to me. And when like in the car with his wife and daughter, now you remember that the reason I'm spending a day with you two fucking people is because my team loves and cares about me.
It's funny. I'm just thinking this is also how men are in Romance Through Kingdoms.
This is true. Liu Bei and his son.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Zhao Yun, I'm so touched that you would go rescue my son, throws the baby on the ground. You almost cost me a best chip.
Yeah. I noticed that for modern sentiments, John Woo did not include Liu Bei throwing his baby on the ground.
I was like, damn, they missed that. I think the chapter I just read had like Zhao Yun getting on the boat to grab the baby.
Yes. That man is just playing. When you told me he was kind of the face of Dynasty Warriors for a bit, I was like, of course he is. That's all his character is. He plays Dynasty Warriors. He turns up and does funny. Sick shit.
I joked with you who's like, oh yeah, his personality is he goes, Zhao Yun is here and does something cool, and then he keeps doing that.
He keeps doing that to the point where it does genuinely start to feel like a real personality, and I'm like, oh, Zhao Yun, I love that guy. Who is he? Yeah. I don't know. He turns up and does cool stuff. That's him. He's a professional.
He is professional.
He's John Wick.
They really put up the Dynasty Warriors in that scene in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, they do. When he kicks the spear up, we're not talking about. We need to get back to Ultraman. Yeah,
we can talk more about the movie next week when I've seen both halves.
The point is, listener, in case you haven't noticed so far from the fact that our original first episode of Ultraman is called Much Like Guan Yu, Three Kingdoms is very good.
Yeah, it is probably shameful. It's taken me like 2 years to get halfway through the book, but you know.
It's a big book. It's a big book, and if you fall off, it feels like hell to get back in.
Yeah, I've done like 20 chapters in like a month. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Book. Yeah.
That's a good pace. Some of those chapters are like long.
Yeah. Anyway, my job is easier for the rest of the show now, because the special effects director for this episode is the same one for every other episode going forward. It's Yoichi Minoda.
Nice.
So, freed myself the obligation to mention him.
Fantastic.
Kaiju design again, Ikuchi, Toya, you know how it is. Presumably, according to Ikuchi, this kaiju is based on a mermaid. I guess.
Do mermaids have, like... I don't see it. I do not see this.
It's like a dragon with, like, chicken globs that Ultraman tears off.
Let me look up Femigon.
Hold on, let me get a picture of it.
It's got chin testicles. Like, I don't...
Yeah, which Ultraman tears off.
Yes.
It's fucked up.
It's got that hump on
the
its
imagery
back.
The imagery of Ultraman emasculating the woman, which is...
Yes. No, yeah, pointed.
Jesus Christ. This episode's so fucked up.
The hump kind of reminds me of you know how salmon, when they're like ready to spawn, become like horrific to look at.
Yeah.
This is what this Femigon reminds me of that. With the hump on its back.
Now, I don't like the implications of what that means for Oka, but anyway.
Yes.
I will point out
there is a lot going on here in terms of like, because this is like, in terms of like lashing out, this is like you mentioned it, there's the kind of like emasculating Oka.
Yeah, I said it half facetiously, but also it's like, well, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
It might be death of the author operating here, but also
it's fine. That's fine. That's
sometimes you just put stuff in that you don't mean to.
That's where I spent half my life, dancing on the graves of authors.
Yeah, including the ones who aren't dead yet.
Including the ones that aren't dead yet. Hurry up and die so I can dance on your graves.
Happy Easter.
Listener, happy Easter. Listener, you don't actually have to kill authors to deal with the death of them. That's not what the essay is about.
However, for J.K. Rowling.
What was that, sorry?
For J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
Yes. Funny enough, I was listening to Shell by Genre yesterday, and they were talking about like Tales of Earthsea and the things it was talking about with like commodification of fantasy, and they're just like, oh yeah, Le Guin just clearly has her knives out for J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter from the start. That's really funny.
Absolutely. There's some fantastic quotes from her about J.K. Rowling in terms of like her like Le Guin clearly just kind of like waking up one day and everyone is talking about J.K. Rowling as though she's written like masterpieces, and Le Guin just going, what's happening? When did this happen? What the fuck? No, she didn't. I read those books. What are you talking about? Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, the hump for Femigon.
Yeah, the hump for Femigon just implies some. There's a lot of loaded imagery here.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that that's where the suit actor's head goes, and then they control the mechanism of the neck.
Oh, that makes sense. I can see it now. Yes, I'm looking at the thing just standing up straight now. Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool design. I don't think it looks anything like a mermaid, but it is a cool design. Well done.
Yeah, allegedly. Mermaid.
Alleged mermaid. It's not fucking... Look at it. Look, anyway. Mermaid with a mohawk. Alright. Do we have anything more about this episode?
I think that's all. That's all I got the literary critic. So.
I quite like I like this episode. This is an interesting episode to think about. This is one is one that's I'm gonna stick, I think. Where there are plenty of Return of Ultraman episodes that we've had a great time with that I'm never gonna think about again. I think this one's good. I think this is gonna be one of my favorites. I think.
I'll think about this one. I think I'm pretty sure more after the conversation. I wasn't sure how I felt about it after I watched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely operating in
It's not like a front and center message kind of episode. It's like a
I can definitely see the read that kind of sees this episode as itself operating like treating Oka like shit. But in the way where Tommy no fan. I'm like, but what if sometimes the woman is treated like shit and the show wants to talk about how?
Yeah. I was a friend of mine is watching Victory.
Yeah, that's the king for that.
And they're like, yeah, sometimes the show's just really good, but then you'll get to an episode where like Uso's in the bath and you're just like, yeah.
The classic episode. What's wrong with your boob? He bit it. Okay.
Fucking happened. We cannot. We're getting sidetracked so much this episode.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
It's because we're lazy. Segue.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I get it now. I get the joke. I had forgotten about this episode. It's a good episode though. Episode 48. I'm taking the Earth. Is that the title?
We'll take Earth.
We'll take Earth. Okay. Featuring lazy monster Yamatarans. On patrol, Go encounters a boy named Masaru, the laziest boy in Jiro's class. Masaru is skipping school and drawing a kaiju on the ground called Yamatarans. Go remarks that it's named after quitting and says maybe you should name it something more optimistic, and then tries to convince Masaru to go to school today.
Yeah, you should name it Hard Work Gone or Due Diligence Gone.
Yes. Masaru accuses Go of being an ally of Mama Gon. I'm like, hell yeah. We get a quick montage of Mama Gon's tyranny. Go gets called back to base and is accused of slacking off.
Yeah, it's funny. Go's like, listen, you can't skip school. And he's like, what about your work? And he just immediately gets radio.
What? He's snacking on things. He's been ignoring his radio. He's like, comes back and says, oh, hi? Yeah? Oh, I'm just, I'm doing stuff. Community outreach.
Odango in hand, just like, patrol's good.
Yeah. They listen, like Kishida and Ko and like Oka are listening in on the car for a little bit. Like they turn up a microphone or something and they're like, is he just got the radio on? Is that why he's not answering the phone? He's just chilling. All right. Go gets called back to base and is accused of slacking off. Matt have detected a UFO, but Masaru gets to it first. It's a capsule, and inside is a small but very real Yamatarans. Go, over his radio, hears Yamatarans beg to be sealed back into the capsule for the sake of the Earth, but Masaru doesn't understand, and he runs off with Yamatarans. Something strange happens. Masaru starts to hiccup and gets spots on his face, and then suddenly decides he's got to go back to school. He's quitting. Masaru begins to spread his infection across Tokyo, and one by one the populace starts to just give up. They announce, I quit, and then just stop what they're doing. When school
there's a good one. He gets bumped by a robber, and like the robber just gives up being chased by the cop, and then the cop tries to arrest him and also gives up.
Yes, there's some pretty good bits in this episode. When school gets infected and all the kids get sent home, Masaru has to face Mama Gon. She's angry at first, but soon announces, just like all the rest, I quit, nearly burning the apartment down because she was in the middle of making tempura.
And then the firefighters show up and also quit being firefighters.
Yes, they do. The more people quit, the bigger Yamatarans gets, and Matt soon has to launch to destroy the kaiju. In the middle of the operation, everyone on the team catches the virus, and it says, I quit, and ejects. It's up to Masaru and Go, the only people with any resistance to this lethargic plague, Masaru because of nuclear Gandhi logic, and Go because of presumably Ultraman.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after something.
Yeah. After figuring out all Yamataran's wants to do is return home, Go unfortunately gets infected, and Masaru grabs his gun. Apologizing to Yamataran's, Masaru starts blasting. Yamataran's knocks over a pylon that threatens to crush Masaru, and this triggers Go's transformation into Ultraman. Except he doesn't catch the pylon, and Masaru is just fine. This is just like a very like simple mistake in the episode, I think, but that's fine. Ultraman gets infected. He gets the little freckles too. That's cute. But he still manages to throw Yamataran's back into space, hopefully in the direction of home.
It's so fucking just yeets him into space.
Yeah, he's like, you have to take Yamataran's home, and instead of taking him home, Ultraman just looks up in the sky, and just like fucking. It's so good. It's so good. The alien behind all this appears as a giant kaiju for a fight with Ultraman. Remember when I derailed a whole episode of Skipping the Queue by saying a kaiju looked like the Bionicle Prydak? I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, this guy looks like Prydak. I'm getting it again. Anyway, Ultraman's having a rough time, but Matt have been cured of their laziness and join the battle. Ultraman defeats the alien, and the day is saved. Everything returns to normal, including Masaru's return to skipping school. The end. This shit was funny. Yeah.
Other gags we get. Everyone at a wedding quitting.
Yes.
An Olympic torch runner just like dropping the torch and leaving.
Yes. Fantastic. Thank you for bringing the bits, because I was just trusting myself to remember them, and I was not gonna. The wedding one is great because I thought it was at first it was going to be a joke about one of them quitting and then everyone else being horrified, but instead it's like, does anyone object or whatever, and the husband just says, I quit, and the wife just like throws something away and just goes, yeah, I quit.
And the priest quits.
The priest quits, everyone quits, all the guests quit. They're just like, we're done, goodbye.
Yeah. Also funny though is just like, because the cops quit, at least initially, Matt just gets sent all the requests.
Oh yeah, yes, the cops have quit, and so they're just forwarding all their calls.
Yeah, and then like at the end of the episode, they're like having a break and like they're like musing it's funny that Masaru was so lazy he got unlazy. Anyway, yes. And then the phones start ringing and they can't have OT.
Yeah, this episode, there isn't like much to say necessarily about this episode beyond it's good, it's funny.
It's funny that Yamataran's is a cursed friendly monster.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
It is funny that when this line happens with Masaru.
Yes, I'll have to kill you myself, so please die. When I saw in the preview kid firing a machine gun again, I was like, Return of the Reverse School Shooter. And no, it was this time it was it was just Masaru being, trying his best.
I'm afraid we're gonna have to kill this guy, Masaru.
Damn.
It is good that they didn't actually kill him, but it is funny. He just gets yeeted into space.
Yeah, just like fucking throws him. Just like go. It's probably that direction. I hope you don't hit anything on the way there. Space is big. You'll probably be fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I like the Mamagon stuff. Him naming his mum like a monster. Was pretty funny.
Yeah. Damn, this misogyny after Famagon.
Yeah. We'll just come straight back to it.
Yeah. Masaru's been hanging out with Jiro too much.
Ultraman's position on misogyny. It's fine when it's Jiro, and it's fine when it's funny. That's it. The absence of Ken and Aki means that there's no one around. Well, I know Aki can't do it. Aki can only respond because he doesn't respect. Jiro doesn't respect women. But the absence of Ken means we no longer have someone around to look at Jiro like he's just said something truly mad when Jiro says anything about women. Like Ken just being like, what the fuck are you talking about? R.I.P. big bro.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I like that we get, like, Go is a bit resistant, but also, like, he's able to fight it off because he's Ultraman in his body as a second person, and there's, like, the inner conflict going on. Like, he gets lazy, but then we see, like, the inner conflict inside him. And that's cool.
It is cool.
And Ultraman also gets lazy.
Ultraman gets lazy too. Ultraman is not flawless.
Ultraman is inoculated inside Go's body, but once he's out.
Yes. Ultraman, Ultraman is fallible. And will try to transform with a spoon sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's offensive. I think that whoever did that episode should be fired and sent to Kyoto.
These days I tend to think of that episode as my favorite episode of the original Ultraman, even over Jamila. Jamila is to me obviously just the best episode of the show, but when I'm thinking of Ultraman fondly, I am thinking of the spoon.
He put out 2 bangers.
Yeah.
And then also the Sibosu.
Sibosu also good. Honestly, the Attack from Underground also good. It's just that one. Oh, and also he did the drawing one.
Yeah, he did Gavadon.
Yeah, and then also there's Pearls. But we don't talk about the Pearls. We don't talk about that.
Mid. I think the Jisoji. I forget the Jisoji movie compilation movie. Did it have the Pearl one or no?
If it doesn't have the Pearl one, we are vindicated by time.
Yeah, I just see Jisoji.
There are many ways in which we're not by Ultraman, but if we're right about this, I am taking that victory.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
I can cut any awkward silence here. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alternatively, now that I've mentioned, I'll cut any awkward silence here. I'll leave it in, and it'll be funny.
Oh yeah. The movie has episode 15, 22, 23, 34, 35. So it has Gavadon, Telesdon, Jamila, Skydon, and Sibosu. But not the Pearl one.
Vindicated.
Yeah.
We were so right. It was really funny getting like the amount of press X to doubt when we were getting Brad's original production notes about Jisoji, when that was the first episode we'd encountered from him. It's like, yeah, he's got this distinct visual style. He's like a legend. And we're just like, all right, mate, sure you are.
Yeah.
How young we were.
Unfortunately, he also did Alien Spell.
Well, they can't all be bangers. And disagrees.
Jisoji doesn't, that's the thing.
Yeah, Jisoji does not. Jisoji, accurate perception of how good that episode is. He's just like, yeah, it's not my best. Alright. Production notes for episode 48.
Yeah. Should we do I guess I'll do Brad stuff first.
Yeah, sure.
Directed by Takahiro Saiki. Already said his episodes before. Written by Maiko Osani. Apparently the writer for Ultra Q's final episode, who Brad says maybe scenes we missed talked about somehow.
Okay.
Lots of rollbacks, so a quick bio about her, because it's a woman.
Holy shit.
Which is really funny in context of the joke Brad and I made last week about woman writers in Ultraman.
Oh, yeah,
After graduating high school, she wanted to be a film director, but was told women couldn't do that.
Rip.
She decided to be a scriptwriter was the best next thing, and has allowed her to work closely with directors. This appears to be a Japanese-only term or job.
Hang on. I think you did talk about this last week.
I don't remember talking about. Whatever. I'll just go through it again.
Yeah, go for it.
Bulls brought to one person being in charge of continuity. They double check the lighting, costumes, acting, makeup, and are also consistent across the scenes being shot, which can be difficult because they're all shot out of order. Damn. I guess that makes sense. So it's not agree.
Yeah.
They also have a coordination and organization between teams and are responsible for making sure the episode or movie doesn't go too long, which means they usually help with editing as well. Japanese Wikipedia notes that the vast majority of scripters are women. Oh, okay, so like when you force women to do domestic labor and they make society function but don't actually pay them for it.
They don't get the flashy jobs. They don't get the fun stuff. They have to do the hard work and keep everything afloat, and they never get the credit for doing any of the cool shit. It's almost like 40 episode 47 is referring to something real in life.
Yeah, it's like, damn, her she can't be a director, but she can be like a position that's like a director, a producer, an editor, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
do everything, but like
the essential bit of the episode 47 thing is the fact that someone needs to do the job that Oka is doing. It's just not fun. It's like it's important work. She's doing important work. She's not doing stuff that's irrelevant.
Like, the job basis just sounds like doing all of the little things as part of, like, basically doing a little bit of each job as one job, and it's like, holy shit.
Yes.
That's crazy. Do you think
she's like Shirobako protagonist.
Yeah. Also very cognizant of, not cognizant, very, echoes a lot of the stuff in the Lagwin stuff I'm reading right now, so. Because Tahano and Tales of Earth, they have a whole bunch of that stuff in about, women's magic example, etc., etc.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into a Le Guin book about women's magic. She did that in, like, she had, like, witches, the difference between witches and wizards and stuff in Wizard of Earthsea, but never, like, dived into it like that. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
Tahano's
looking forward
more
to
about
Tahano.
that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, back to Osano. She married, had kids, got divorced, and became a screenwriter. She primarily wrote for family dramas, but did contribute to the Ultra series a few times. Notably, the fact that Open Up is one of the few Ultra episodes without a monster is the fact she was more comfortable writing a more general fantasy story than one that focused on characters' life and relationships. Okay, that makes sense.
She married, had kids, got divorced, and then became a screenwriter, and then she wrote the episode about the about the husband who mostly just wants to leave his wife.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
She's also incredibly involved in nonprofit and volunteer work. Most notably, she flew to Jordan during the Gulf War and worked at a refugee camp.
Oh, okay. Cool.
No, she's cool. Fun trivia note to uncap with the... Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I had this trivia, but Brad got into it in better detail anyway, so I'll just use that. When came up with the monster's name for the episode, our producer Tsubara suggested it be named in tribute to Maiko Osani, whose real name is Maiko Sasahara, because the alien kaiju name is Sasahela.
Okay.
However, this is the unintended side effect after her niece getting bullied and teased at school for being an alien.
Oh no.
And then her sister-in-law apparently got mad at her.
No. Rip. Damn.
Unfortunate.
That sucks.
Man, bullies suck.
Bullies suck.
Yeah. And yeah, Brad said that he'll get to his takes on these episodes next week.
Thank
so
you,
look forward to those. Thank you once again, Brad. Once again, so Yamaterans, Toya Gucci duo again. This is a more fun trivia. The Yamateran suit is based on a Super Raya kaiju called Gomora, which is not from a TV show, but a kaiju used in a vacuum cleaner commercial that Tsuburaya did in 1971.
Oh my
For the
god.
Hayabusa vacuum, and I have the ad right here, which I'll put in the
Let's
description.
go. I'm looking. Okay. Vacuum cleaner lady, Japanese commercial, Tsuburaya Productions. This is the kaiju. Oh, it's blowing stuff all over the place. They're firing the tanks. I can't believe we got a woman transforming into a giant superhero, and it was for a vacuum cleaner commercial.
It's a common theme this episode.
Episode 47 of Return of Ultraman has thoughts.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That was fantastic. That was truly, that was culture and ideology, is what I just witnessed.
Yeah, we need to put a reminder to self.
Mm-hmm.
Reminder to self. Put commercial plus pause and select in app description. I will forget this, but you can remind me later.
Yes.
All
right.
Sasahiller is also Toya in the suit, but Ken Kumagai did the design for this one.
Cool.
And yeah, we already got the trivia.
All right. Do we have anything more to say about episode 48 other than, it was good, it was fun?
I think this is probably one of the best episodes of the show. I will agree with that.
To be honest, yes, it is. For very different reasons than how I feel about episode 47. Yeah.
Honestly, that's the Ultraman contrast sometimes.
Yes.
Like, sometimes a really good episode is the Stolen Ultra Eye, and sometimes a really good episode is
Dinosaur
the
Tank.
700 Dinosaur Tank.
And I literally mentioned earlier this episode, maybe the best episode of Ultraman is the Jamila episode, which is like inventing, like, well, it's cool as shit. Or it's the episode where Ultraman attempts to transform with a spoon. Yeah. All right. Well, those are the episodes. This honestly banger week, I think.
Yeah. Let's hope the finale is also banger.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
and then week out, we'll be going straight into Ultraman Ace, right?
Yeah. Thank
my
goodness.
computer won't break.
Yeah.
I'm not
Knock on wood.
I'm not even going to touch wood because superstitions
I'm
aren't
doing
real.
it. I'm fucking doing it right now.
It's not real. It's not real.
We talked about it, but like we've technically been this season for like
6
5
months because we recorded the first
week
episode
of
of Return of
November.
Ultraman on my birthday on the 5th of November.
Yeah. And then the PC died.
Yeah.
And it got pushed back a month.
It wasn't even
an
an easy thing. It wasn't the power supply failed, which was what I was expecting because that's a normal problem. If you just, it was the fucking motherboard. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway.
And then we had Christmas break. And we had to record an episode.
Yes.
Re-record an episode. And we almost didn't record this week too. Which
because one, two of us, like, one is like, Brad's busy. You're with family this weekend, and then I am not with family this weekend, but I am moving rooms. I am moving everything from my room into the room upstairs where someone is moving out. I am getting out of the basement. I will no longer have to, keep an eye out for mold like that.
Yeah.
It was, we had a couple of touch and go moments there in winter. When I've got a couple of bottles of white vinegar down here. Yeah. So
I'm glad we got an episode into this week because otherwise we would have pushed Return of we were pushed Ace back into like the middle of April, and that would have been depressing a bit.
Yeah. That does mean right after we record this episode, I'm just gonna be like, all right, bye. I gotta go move shit.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fine. Also, fun trivia that I can say this episode that I guess the end wouldn't have mattered because Brad has had Easter obligations anyway.
Okay.
But today is March 31st, 2024, and March 31st, 1972 was the day the final episode of Return of Ultraman aired.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Yeah, so if we didn't have to re-record episode 48 and also
we could have recorded on the anniversary. What I can do is I can try to watch the last 3 episodes today. We'll see.
I mean, I don't even know if I can do that. I probably kind of wants to watch it on like my TV, and now that I figure out how to get my PS4 to work with just a TV remote, so I don't have to worry about my PS4 controller fast forwarding.
What, like analog? Is it analog stick drift or something?
I think it's an issue with the trigger because the trigger is something that does the fast forward. But it could be drift. I don't know. It's some kind of drift, but I've had issues with it, sometimes with poor cable connection when Brad and I seem to this. Maybe I'll just watch it this week. Actually, I can always look.
All right.
So sometimes the picture is just a bit clearer when it's on my screen in front of me rather than like 3 meters away on a TV.
This is true. All right. Wow. Do we have color timers for this week?
Yeah, I got some color timers and some brief trivia.
Go for it.
It's color timers. Episode 43, 2 minutes 35 seconds.
All right.
Wait a minute. Is that the right number? What the fuck? What are you doing, man? Jeez. I hate Google Docs. I hate this browser. With backspace on me, I went for a different page. Good. Not episode 43. Episode 43 was last week. Episode 46. Yes.
All right.
Episode 46 was... Yeah, I still haven't. I forgot to change the numbers on the timers. But yeah. Episode 46, 2 minutes 35 seconds.
2 minutes 35 seconds. We've managed to keep it in time with 1 out of 3 so far.
Episode 47, 4 minutes 25 seconds.
Well, you've let us down. They've let us down immediately. We can bring it back.
4 minutes 51 seconds.
We did not bring it back. We failed.
Also, I need to do some due diligence.
Okay.
In some recent episodes, we've done the counters, but we forgot to actually do the counting.
We've got to do the counting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so now the genocide count is at 8.
Oh! Of course.
And then the medical miracle counter is at 9.
All right. Man, 9! They really squeezed a lot into the first half of Return of Ultraman with the fucking miraculous recoveries.
And then the giant woman counter, which I've also haven't done a soundbite for, but I thought I would just keep track of it.
Yeah, that's a 3.
It's like 5.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Well, I put it woman asterisk because I'm also counting Jin and Ippei.
It's
the spirit of the thing.
Can we get a picture?
I'm
picturing Jun. I'm picturing Yuriko looking at Jun and Ippei with like the fucking edit with like the fucking trans flag question mark.
Because we got Shin Ultraman, we got Yuriko, Amy, the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I counted Jun and Ippei as 1 together, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting that Jun and Ippei went big and Yuriko went tiny.
Yeah, I mean technically they didn't actually grow big, but I just mean for the episode in question, they got the kaiju. So.
Oh, they counted as big.
Yeah.
That was
even the producers.
I can't believe, like, going back and listening, if you go back and listen to that episode, which don't go back and listen to our early episodes, I couldn't edit for shit. Going back and listening to that episode, you will find that we're kind of down on on the 1/8 project episode. And looking back, I'm like, that was just fun. What were we doing?
Yeah. I know, our opinions change.
Yeah. I just
Just like,
you know, I like
how you just kind of like,
Yeah,
how you're cool on Ultraman, and now you're just like, nah, fuck it.
Fuck Ultraman. That's sure fucking you can quote me on that. Put that in the papers. Red. One of the hosts on Ultra Q's quote. Fuck Ultraman.
It does make me wonder if like some of the people we know their issues are Ultraman are just because of the show in question.
It might, Ultra 7's good. Ultra 7's kind of, it's got tendencies, but it's mostly normal. Ultraman's just has, even without weekly genocide, it just manages to have a vibe that is truly awful. Truly just like atrocities happening all the time. But yeah, I don't, Jamila.
That's why they need
Jamila.
That's why they need that.
Sidon.
That's why they need a second Ultraman to return, because the first one had too many atrocious vibes.
This is true. They couldn't have the original Ultraman return in Return of Ultraman because he was villainous.
Tore like his mustache.
Ide's plot. He's fighting against Ide's organization, while Ide's plotting to take him down.
Yeah. So yeah. Going for my off-cue runback trivia. Also, just gonna say right now, executive decision. Taking a break next 2 weeks. On this segment.
Okay.
Because
doing a finale and doing a first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like those episodes are gonna be long, and also I'd rather focus on the show itself. So. So yeah, Ragon. Special effects director for that episode was Toru Motoba. Once again, design Toru Narita, sculptor Takayama. The suit was made from wetsuit with latex scales. As alluded to last week, Bin Furia was the suit actor.
Yeah.
Because I'm at my parents' place, I'm gonna do the bio later.
Okay.
Putting a pin in that one. Shoji Otomo apparently wanted the episode to have a plot. The initial pitch of the episode by Shoji Otomo was that there'd be like an expedition kind of plot where they'd stumble upon the Ragon. But then Nomagase was like, that's a little too close to the plot of Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Lol.
So then that's where the idea of the mother and child came in.
Yeah, it's for the episode's benefit, I think.
Yeah, like the music bit.
Yeah.
Jun throwing the radio off the cliff and being like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Didn't think this through. Then we got Boss Day. Again, Narita Takayama. No suit actor because it's a puppet. And then Motoba, once again, as special effects director. We've talked about it before, but originally it was going to be a kaiju called Clapton for an episode called SOS, which later ended up being an Ultraman episode. That episode fell through, so then it became Boss Day instead.
Okay.
Also, the alien Ruperts is played by Keiko Mizuki. Then we have the Giant Man, Koji, played by Koso Nomura. Special effects director for that episode was Keiji Kawakami. Kinjo was the draft writer for this episode. Well, not the final episode, but like the draft script. Back when it was still on balance. Ken Kumagai told him about the legend of Princess Tatsuko, which is like a particular like local region legend, not like a widespread one, I think.
Yeah.
I think I read it. It's like about a woman who becomes a dragon somehow.
All right. Cool.
Hence why the episode's called Hench. The name Koji for the character came from Koji Ishizaki, who was the narrator for Ultraman.
Okay.
And also the for Ultraman. So I'll do about with him later as well.
Cool.
Apparently in the original draft, Koji doesn't actually have a conversation with his girlfriend and it just dies.
Oh, lol.
Yeah. I think the ending is better this way. Where they just fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for now. We'll come back in a couple weeks with more runbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I'll probably end up running through the Ultraman stuff faster.
All right.
Inevitably, and then I'll get the bios out.
Well, nice. In which case, do we have any emails?
No emails.
No emails. We are free.
But oh yeah, I do actually have to watch the episodes today, so I have to make the kaiju server so I can get ready for next episode.
Owned by your responsibility.
Yeah. So hey, next week's finale.
Next week is the finale,
including kaiju rankings. Probably just do top 5, bottom 3, if you're emailing in. Because this is once again close to 70 guys. So.
And do remember, we don't, the episode comes out on Thursdays. We record the Sunday prior. The reason I do sometimes think about it's quite a gap between Sunday and Thursday. But honestly, I have a job, frankly. So that is staying.
Remember the Bizarro universe in season 1 where we released the episode on Saturday the day before we recorded?
I do remember when we released on Saturday. The reason I did that was because first of all, I was like, I have never edited anything in my fucking life. And everyone listening to the show has been listening to me learn how Audacity works in real time. And so I gave myself loads of time, and then I started to realize that by giving myself a whole week, all I was doing was making sure that I was editing the episode on Friday night while worrying about it Monday through Thursday. Which was just a hellish way to live. So I had to fix that immediately.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been able to do kaiju sorting if we recorded that.
No, absolutely not.
At least for the audience.
But yeah,
so
you are listening to, if you are listening to this on Thursday, you've got until Sunday. Get your sorters in.
Time zone, tricky, but presumably if you're Eastern Standard Time, or I guess if you're in Eastern Time, presume that like it's.
If you're in
just before noon.
If you're at 0 hours, i.e. the true center of the Earth as determined by Britain, which is probably fine and normal, then it probably happens around like 3 to 4 to 5, somewhere around there. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a fucking episode. I think we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Good episodes this week. Big
Yeah.
fan.
Hoping the finale
Fingers
is also good.
Crossed.
Listen, there's a last season had a pretty good finale, so this one's got to live up to the hype.
The Ultra 7 finale was so good. I would not have put as much effort into the
human bit.
No, I would not have done that if I did not like the finale as much as I did. Man, Ultra 7. All right. Well, plugs as the episode is over. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Ultra_Q. That is at Ultra_QUEUE. I am also on Twitter at gender_redacted. And that's me, Mel.
I do crowns, places. Got email ultipod at gmail.com. Send emails for next week. Send your kaiju rankings. Send your opinions because the finale, etc., etc. And Ulti Fund is coffee.
And
Brad
Brad's at
_invoked on Twitter.
he's at B_invoked on Twitter. He's Canopus invoked on YouTube. And you two are still doing Tales of the Abyss sometimes.
Yep. We didn't do it last week because of holiday stuff. But
But that's it. That's us.
Yep. 3 more episodes next week. The final 3 episodes. And then also Dot-Com Films, Return of Ultraman, Hideko and his fan film.
Yes, I will be watching that. All right. That is it. Goodbye. See you next week.
Later.
壊すぞ地響き立てて吠える怪獣大怪獣ふわっと開いた口から炎辺り一面焼け野原街が危ない死が迫る帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマン十字を組んで狙った敵は必殺技の贈り物大地を飛んでキック一発近くに寄ってウルトラチョップ凶悪怪獣倒すため帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマン戦い進んで見上げる空に一つ輝く僕の星遠く離れて地球に一人あれがふるさとだ正義と平和を守るため帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞ帰ってきたぞウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマンウルトラマン
Happy Easter, Xbox.